Hello. In today's video, we'll walk through how to model operating and maintenance costs, also known as ownership costs, in Solargraf. To get started, from your dashboard, navigate to the Settings page. Within Settings, locate the Pricing section, where you'll find Ownership Costs. On this page, you'll see several categories that represent the different costs associated with owning a solar system. These costs are typically most relevant for commercial systems, where financial accuracy is especially important. However, they can also apply to residential systems that are owned by the homeowner, such as systems purchased with cash or financed with a loan. For third-party owned systems, such as leases or PPAs, these costs are usually not modeled, since the responsibility for maintenance falls on the third party rather than the property owner. Let's walk through the different cost categories. First, we have annual O&M costs. These represent the ongoing expenses required to maintain the system. You can model these costs either as a cost per watt based on system size or as a fixed annual cost. For example, you might estimate maintenance at $1,000 per year. You can also apply an annual escalation rate such as 2% to reflect increasing costs over time. Additionally, you can define the start year for these costs. For example, maintenance expenses may begin in 2027. Next, we have inverter replacement costs. If you're selling an Enphase system, you may choose not to model this cost since Enphase microinverters often come with a 25-year warranty, which aligns with the typical financial modeling period in Solargraf. However, if you're comparing against other inverter types, such as string inverters or microinverters with shorter warranty periods, you may want to include a replacement cost. For instance, you might assume a replacement after 15 years at a cost of 50 cents per watt. Moving on to battery replacement costs. Here you'll define the expected lifetime or warranty period of the battery, and then estimate the replacement cost at the end of that period. Since this occurs well into the future, you can model it as a percentage of today's cost. For example, you might assume battery prices decrease by 25% or even 50% over time. Including these assumptions helps provide a clearer long-term financial picture for the customer. Next, we have insurance costs, which are primarily relevant for commercial projects. You can model insurance as a percentage of the system cost, such as 1%, and apply an annual increase rate, for example 3%, to account for rising premiums over time. Finally, we have property tax. This is another key factor for commercial systems. You'll want to input the property tax rate, such as 2%, define the duration, for example 25 years, and include an escalation rate, such as 5%. This accounts for the potential increase in property value due to the solar installation, which may impact overall taxes. While these inputs may be more detailed than what's typically required for residential proposals, they are important for building accurate and transparent financial models for commercial customers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.